Welcome everybody to the Five Flag Speedway for the second annual Snowflake 100, the qualifying race to see who will make the field for the Snowball Derby. Of course, these drivers will be lined up on how they qualified from 21st to 50th. So Reese Montgomery, who posted the 21st fastest time in qualifying, will be leading us to the green flag. Starting beside him is the number 22 of Mayhew. Rest of the starting lineup. These drivers, of course, based on where, as I mentioned, where they qualified, with Hale Hyatt starting last on the field due to not even posting a time in qualifying due to blowing up. This race will be 100 laps around this half-mile track, and the top 11 drivers at the end of the 100 laps, they will advance to the Snowball Derby. The remaining drivers, they will fail to qualify. So this is these drivers' last chance to try and get into the second annual Snowball Derby. We've got some well-known veterans and rookies like Nick Kennedy, Blaze Zibertar, Duskwatcher, Sebastian Torres. 100 laps to try and get into the top 11. And now for those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines.
The field is rolling off. Let's begin our lone pace lap. 1 year ago, Daniel Bouchard finished 11th here on the Snowflake 100. He would go on to win the Snowball Derby. So, you never know what could happen. Pace car is going to pull in. And Reese Montgomery will lead us to the green to begin the Snowflake 100. We are underway. Out towards turn number 1, Reese Montgomery maintains his race lead. Oh, we got a car way up high. That's number 94 of Joey Crockett. He's got plenty of laps to rebound. But off the final turn, leading the first lap will be Reese Montgomery, leading his first ever SCRL lapsing competition. Second place right now is the number 93 of Roger James. And you got the 1 of Mike Jones. The 22 of Amber Mayhew. Being passed by the number 68 of Kip Silverpoint. 07 of Heath Wilton. 14 to Chase Miller is currently inside the top 11. You see Blaine Sayer. There you see the 52 of Billy Kidd making his way up. You see AJ Jones trying to make his way inside the top 11. Three wide for position. Here comes the 94 trying to work his way back up through the field after going wide. Looks like he will make that position. Followed behind him is the number 20 car of Brandon Mayhew. But the top 11 will advance. Currently right now, Reese Montgomery is still holding a pretty decent lead right now. But he is being chased by the 93 of Roger James and the 1 of Mike Jones. 5 laps of the 100 have been completed. You see the 68 Kip Silverpoint way down low. Trying to get a run into turn number 3 and turn number 4. We still have all 30 cars still in this race. Of course, this event 1 season ago was not the full 100 length distance. As Reese Montgomery continues to hold the race lead after 6 laps. Looks like the front of the pack has slowly separated. In this race, there will be no caution breaks. So lap number 8 has been completed. These drivers in the back, they still have a long way to go to try and get inside the top 11 to advance. Including Nick Kennedy, he is 2 spots behind. So if Kennedy can gain 2 more spots and pass Joey Crockett, Kennedy will make the Snowball Derby. Battle for position, here comes the 22. Amber Mayhew trying to go for 4th. Looks like he will, and does. Here comes the 07, Heath Wilton. We got a couple of rookies who are trying to make their way into their first ever Snowball Derby. But Kip Silverpoint with a huge run at the high side, and Kip will maintain position for this point in time, as Reeves Montgomery continues to hold a 1-second lead. Ever since we went green, he has led every single lap. We have gone this entire race so far caution-free. Of course, anything could happen. Currently trailing the field right now is the number 75 of Mike White. So his chances of making the Snowball Derby is a little slim right now, running in last place. There you see Sebastian Torres, a multiple-time champion in this league. But as of right now, he is outside the transfer spot. He is in 20th. Currently, the final transfer spot is being held by Brandon Mayhew, who has been passed by Joey Crockett, so Mayhew holds the final valuable spot, as the number 48 of Nick Kennedy is trying to slowly close in on him. Kennedy actually competed in the Snowball Derby last year. He had a good showing, but it just did not work out to his liking. He was able to come back and get a top 10, though. Battle for second place. One of Mike Jones is trying to get around the 93 of Roger James. Lead is 1.2. So Reeves has actually lost a 1/10 of a second since the last time we saw him. Let's see if he can gain it back this lap. Looks like he will. He gained 2/10 of a second over our leaders and battle for 3rd. There comes the 22 of Amber Mayhew. We got Chevy against Chevy, but she's not able to get around Mike Jones just yet. Back to our transfer spot. It's still being held by Brandon Mayhew as Nick Kennedy is slowly reeling in that 20 car, ever so slowly. He's got 82 laps to pass Brandon Mayhew. Now, speaking of passing, here comes the 08 of Blaine Sawyer, passing number 5 of Ryan Pryor. So Pryor moves back to 10th. We'll see if Brandon Mayhew can get around him. Ryan might be in the final transfer spot. As you see, Kennedy, he is right there. He is ready and waiting for someone to make a mistake so he can get inside the top 11. Back up front, no change. Reeves Montgomery continues to hold the race lead as Mike White continues to trail the field. We have got this entire race caution-free for the first time in its existence so far. Last year we had a few cautions. This year, not so much. And we're keeping an eye on the transfer spot as the lead is not... Well, the lead has picked up just a little bit as a 93 car. Roger James has closed in on Reeves Montgomery. The lead is now 9/10 of a second. But this is the battle, the transfer spot. Who will make it? Who will not? Lead is now back up to 1.09, so Reeves Montgomery gained a 1/10 of a second that lap. Just a reminder, this is just the Snowflake 100. The Snowball Derby will be 300 laps, which of course manual cautions will be coming out every 75 laps. And there it is. The battle for 11th. Nick Kennedy under Brandon Mayhew. If he can maintain it off turn number 4, he does. So as of right now, Nick Kennedy is in the transfer spot. He's making the Snowball Derby for the 2nd year in a row. Battle for lead is not that much as Reese Montgomery maintains, as we have completed 25 of the 100 laps. We have 75 laps to go. Let's see who has the fastest lap. That would be the 57 car, which is Hale Hyatt, who is actually the driver who blew up during his qualifying lap. There he is. He is currently in the 23rd position, but he is outside the transfer spot. So not good for him and his hopes. There's Nick Kennedy. He's on defense right now. He was on offense to get around Brandon Mayhew, but now he has to be on defense for the next 77 laps. Little peak right there between the 08 and the 14 of Chase Miller, but Miller is able to maintain 7th position. Battle for position. Here comes the 68 car of Kip Silverpoint, trying to go around 3rd, but not able to. Excuse me, 4th. Single file for the most part. Battle for position. Here we go. 59. Owen Carvin. Going to go around with Cuba Kid, not able to just yet. And pretty soon we will be catching lap traffic. As Reese Montgomery's lead is a 1.5 as of right now. Battle for position. There comes a 94. Oh, battle for position as well for the transfer spot. Nick Kennedy has been passed by Brandon Mayhew, so Kennedy is now out of the Snowball Derby. Here comes number 03 of Leaf Magnus. He's trying to make his first ever Snowball Derby. And here's the transfer spot, the 08 of Blaine Sailor, excuse me. He is now in the transfer spot, but Leaf Magnus is trying. Oh, contact between him and Nick Kennedy. Kennedy is able to maintain, though. Pretty sure Kennedy is not very happy with what the 03 just did. Crowded him. Battle for position. Here comes Joey Crock on the inside of Chase Miller. Lead is now 2 seconds between Reese Montgomery and the 93 of Roger James. These drivers are picking it up because they know live traffic might be involved later on with the way things are going. Currently, the final transfer spot is still the 08 of Blaine Sailor. Laps are quickly winding down as we have had no cautions still. Leaf Magnus is right there. He just wants that one spot. Here we go. For a spot in the Snowball Derby. As I mentioned last year, Daniel Bouchard, he was the last car to get in. He made his way through the field. Took him 91 laps. He led 297 laps, and he would go on to dominate the race and win the first annual Snowball Derby. Leaf Magnus looking to do the same thing 1 year later. But he has to defend against Nick Kennedy. Lead is now 2.6, so no real battle for the lead. Oh, Leaf Magnus leaves it open. Nick Kennedy wants to capitalize. Here we go. He's going to gain 1 and 2 spots. So now the transfer spot is Leaf Magnus, but not for long because here comes the 16 car of Byron Bell. Byron Bell will complete the pass, so Byron is now in the transfer spot. But wait, Ryan Pryor is now. Actually, the transfer spot is Kip Silverpoint now. Trying to make the field as Nick Kennedy is currently in the 10th position. That will push Kennedy inside the Snowball Derby. Battle for position to 20. Brady Mayhew trying to go on the inside of Chase Miller. Lead is now 3 seconds. Battle position, here we go. Kip Silverpoint against Nick Kennedy. This is for the final transfer spot. In terms of Kip Silverpoint, he's going to knock it back down to Nick Kennedy. So Kennedy is once again on the bubble. His lead is now 3.5. So Reese Montgomery is just driving away from everybody. And he is catching our lap traffic with the 69 of Chaka Dusk Watcher. And we are not even halfway yet. Battle for third as Amber Mayhew is trying to catch the 1. Mike Jones not able to just yet. The transfer spot is now Ryan Pryor as Nick Kennedy has fallen behind. Seven laps to go until we are officially halfway through this race. We still have all 30 drivers still in this race. We've had no caution so far. We've had no lead changes. We've had one driver that has led. That's being Reese Montgomery. And currently in the final transfer spot is the number 5 of Ryan Pryor. You see these drivers in the back there are going to have to pick things up because there is our race leader with a 3.4 second lead. Now for position, here goes the 00 of Alan Noel. Trying to go around the 16 of Byron Bell. The final transfer spot continues to be Ryan Pryor as Nick Kennedy is about to be passed by the number 15 of David Elon. And is as Kennedy falls back to the 13th position, but still within striking distance. Lead is now 3.4 as we are 2 laps away from being halfway here in the Snowflake 100 to set the rest of the field for the Snowball Derby, which, as I mentioned before, it'll be 300 laps. Reese Montgomery, as of right now, he will advance, of course, by winning it. And so all the other drivers from 1st to 11th. Which the final transfer spot is currently being held by the number 5 of Ryan Pryor once again. But he's got some tough challenges behind him, like Nick Kennedy, who wants to get in the Snowball Derby. As of right now, Kennedy is eliminated. He will not transfer. Off the final turn, Reese Montgomery leads at the halfway mark. 50 laps down, 50 laps to go here at the Five Flag Speedway. We want to thank you for wherever you are in the world watching this event as we set the field for the 2nd annual SCRL Snowball Derby. This event is 300 laps. But first we have to set the field by way of a qualifying race, as drivers 1 through 20 have already locked themselves into the field. This is for positions number 21 through 31. And then we will have our field for the 2nd annual Snowball Derby, which Daniel Bouchard won 1 year ago in dominating fashion. Reese Montgomery, currently here in the Snowflake 100, is currently, well, dominating this race. He has already lapped one driver, that being the Number 09 to Chase Christ. So his chances of making the Snowball Derby is very slim, as Reese Montgomery is about to lap the number 75 of Mike White. And does. Let's check the transfer spot. It's currently being held, well, was being held by Kip Silverpoint, but is now being held by David Elon. So move the 15 car, the rookie, up into the final transfer spot. Nick Kennedy is only 2 cars away from making the field, as we've been saying almost all night long. You see the 52 car, Billy Kidd, he's trying to make his way into the field. Behind him is Blaze Evitar, who actually missed this race 1 year ago in that same car. Once again, finding himself outside the field as of right now. So Blaze is going to have to pick things up if he wants to make his first ever Snowball Derby. As 15 car continues to hold the final transfer spot. He's got a little distance between him and Kip Silverpoint as of right now. We have 43 laps to go this time by. Battle for position. Here comes Nick Kennedy on the inside. Kip Silverpoint. Kip tried to block, but Kennedy was there, so Kennedy's going to try. Look behind them. Here comes Blaze on the inside. Billy Kidd. Blaze is going to gain a spot. He's going to try and catch up to Kennedy and Kip Silverpoint. Then they got to go about half a second behind the transfer spot. Of course, anything could happen between these leaders. Someone could wreck, blow up. You never know in this type of racing. As Reese Montgomery is stuck in lap traffic behind the 69 car, a Check a Desk Watcher, which is allowing the 93 of Roger James to slowly close in. And we got pit stops. Yes, we got pit stops here in this race, so this will shuffle the field out a little bit. Here comes the 07 of Heath Wilton. Wilton will gain the lead, but will not lead that lap. And yes, in this race we do have pit stops. In the Snowball Derby we will not, at least in terms of green flag pit stops. And you see our drivers pit. You see everybody is coming to the pits this time, but Blaze is staying out, it appears. Yes, he will. We got 40 laps to go this time by, as everybody's making their pit stops. Here comes Reeves, almost getting hit by the 20 car. Oh, Blaze almost hit the 51. Mike White almost hit the 51. Off the final turn, Blaze will not lead a lap because he is right there in terms of the pits, but everybody is racing. Oh, we got cars. Weston Roper got a little bit of damage to the left side of his car right there. You saw on pit road. Where's our leader? There he is. Reese Montgomery is actually behind Brandon Mayhew. Will that affect our leaders where he was? The leader right now is Roger James. Of course, we'll have to shuffle out the field as they go around. And there you see Reese Montgomery is currently in the 7th position, so he lost, we'll make that 6th. He lost 6 spots in terms of how they pitted. As of right now, Roger James is our race leader. And our transfer spot, is the 48 car. And who is that 48 car? None other than Nick Kennedy. As you see, the 5 car is just now getting to his pits as we have multiple cars 2 laps down. And our leaders are right behind, not too far away from Nick Kennedy and whatnot. But as of right now, the battle for the race lead is not much of a battle as Mike Jones has taken it from Roger James. So move the 1 into P1. That's why we don't normally do pit stops here at the Five Flag Speedway. They get a little chaotic. See, Roger James will try and rebound, try to catch the one. We currently have a 2-car breakaway as Joey Crockett has moved up into third. Fourth is Amber Mayhew. Fifth is Brandon Mayhew. Sixth is Reeves Montgomery. Seventh is David Elon. Eighth is Chase Miller. Ninth is Blaine Saylor. 10th is Kip Silverpoint. 11th is Nick Kennedy. Kennedy has half a straightaway over Blaze Zebratar, who's going to try and catch him in his Toyota. So horrible luck for Reeves Montgomery. Was our race leader, but now he is in the 6th position. I mean, he will still be in the Snowball Derby as of right now, but losing 6 spots in the pits, not good. Back up front, Mike Jones continues to hold the race lead in his Phoenix Racing entry. Slowly working his way through lap traffic as he will lead another lap. Be 30 laps to go. This time by. We've got this race entirely caution-free. That will not happen in the Snowball Derby, as we will have mandatory cautions after 75 laps if we don't get one. So 30 laps to go for Mike White. He has a 1.07 second lead over Roger James. The transfer spot continues. Whoa, actually. Where's our transfer spot? There he is. It's Kip Silverpoint as of right now. What happened to Nick Kennedy? Oh, there he is. He's in 9th. I thought we had a mix-up right there. Blaze is still slowly trying to close in on Kip Silverpoint, who is now the last driver that will transfer. Oh, contact between the 20 and the 22. That's actually family members. Amber Mayhew and Brandon Mayhew. Mike Jones continues to hold the race lead, as we will have 26 laps to go here in the Snowflake 100 to set the field for the Snowball Derby. If you do not like long green flag runs, this most likely will happen in the Snowball Derby because of the way these cars race. It is at 90%. If I put any more, we won't actually get any green flag racing, so I bumped it down just a little bit. After the Snowball Derby, we will then have signups for the 2nd annual Chili Bowl. So for those of you that like dirt racing or midgets or sprint cars, that is the next series we will be doing. Well, special event we will be doing. After that, we will see. As of right now, Roger James is the only car within striking distance of Mike Jones as he works his way around the 75 of Mike White. So there is 2 cars between Roger James and Mike White Mike Jones and Roger James in terms of the battle for the race win. Of course, these drivers, they don't have to win, but you know they want to win to show what they have. Of course, you don't want to show too much. Of course, you never know, because these cars, they will be immediately moved to the starting lineup for the Snowball Derby, and these cars will already have 100 laps on them, while those in qualifying only have 2 in terms of qualifying. So these cars, they're going to be a little bit worn out when we get to the Snowball Derby. Battle for the final transfer spot is heating up as Kip Silverpoint has it. But the number 7 of John Austin wants it, as he has passed the number 51 of Blaze Evertar. You see him back to 13th. He's going to try and pass Kip Silverpoint, as we got 18 laps to go this time by. The lead is now 1.1 over Roger James. And Kip Silverpoint maintains 11th position. And Nick Kennedy has worked his way up into 8th. So barring a caution or something happening, Nick Kennedy looks like he will make his second ever trip to the Snowball Derby. And I mentioned before, Reeves Montgomery was a race leader for many laps. Just pit stops just did not work out for him. He fell back to 6th, but he might be able to get up to 4th if he can get around the 2 drivers in front of him. And battle for the race lead is not much of a battle, as Roger James has assumed the race lead due to Mike Jones working with lap traffic. So horrible luck for Mike Jones, but he has enough time to catch back up. You never know. 16 laps to go. Roger James is still a rookie in his SCRL career, trying to make a name for himself, and what a way it would be by winning the qualifying race for the Snowball Derby and advancing himself into the biggest late model event of the season. He has 14 laps to try and maintain his race lead, while the battle for the final transfer spot is still heating up as Kip Silverpoint has it. Blaze, who has gotten around the number 7, he wants it. And you see Nick Kennedy is stuck on the high side. He's going to lose some spots and some ground, and that might allow Kip Silverpoint to close in on him. A lot of drama here in the last half of the race, as things are picking up. They know they have to if they want to make the Snowball Derby. Battle for position, as you see the 0-2, Reeves Montgomery makes it past the 22. This will be for 5th. So Reeves will at least gain back a little bit that he lost during pit stops. And you see the 1, Mike Jones, is stuck on the outside because of 59. Owen Carvin, he's trying to get around him. And there's Roger James off the final turn. 11 laps to go. We have run this race entirely caution-free, but we've had some close moments. As here we go, battle for position. This is the transfer spot. The 15 of David Elon has it. Blaze wants it as he now passes the 68. Kip Silverpoint on the high side, but the inside line is the preferred line here. Here we go. The final transfer spot is now in Blaze's hands, as he has passed the 15, David Elon. Here goes the 53, Weston Roper, who's actually a lap down. So he is not a factor in terms of where they are running right now. Battle for position, Chase Miller trying to go around the 22 of Amber Mayhew. This will be for 6th, as Chase works his Chevrolet under the 22 and will easily take it. No challenge up front for Roger James, who is working lap traffic, but he has to take it nice and easy. He's got a 2-second lead. No rush. Back to the transfer spot. It is currently being held by the 68 of Kip Silverpoint. As John Otson is trying to get around him, this will be it. The final transfer. As behind them, here comes the 03 of Leaf Magnus. He wants to get in that transfer spot. He was in it earlier, but it's currently being held by the 7. Lead is 2.3. As he got 5 laps to go next time by. Kip Silverpoint, if he can get back around John Otson, that'll put Kip back in the Snowball Derby. Here we go. how aggressive does Kip get? Because he's only got 5 laps to do it. Nice and easy into turn number 1. And Kip cannot afford to let the 7 make a mistake because it might not happen, so he has to be aggressive to try and get around the 7 car. Lead is now 1.9 between Roger James and Mike Jones. Here comes Kip on the inside. Can he clear? And we got a battle up here between Blaze and 53, which Blaze is in the 10th spot, but that could allow these two drivers to close in. Lead is now 2.2 up there between Roger James. John Otson maintains his transfer spot. Kip is going to have 2 more laps. Back up front, Roger James. No challenge by Mike Jones as he being stuck with lap traffic. Here we go. Here's the battle for position. You see the white flag for the leaders. Kip Silverpoint dives under John Otson as the white flag is for the 93 car. He was right there. Great run by Roger James to assume the race lead after pit stops. He got around Mike Jones. He was able to survive and use lap traffic. Off the final turn, Roger James wins the 2nd annual Snowflake 100 and will advance to the Snowball Derby. He wins the battle for the last transfer spot. Here it is. Kip Silverpoint dives on into turn number 3 and turn number 4, but it's not going to be enough as John Otson maintains and will advance. And we have our field for the 2nd annual Snowball Derby. Here are your race results. Roger James scores the historic win in the Snowflake 100 and will advance. 2nd, Joey Crockett. 3rd, Mike Jones. 4th, Brandon Mayhew. 5th, Chase Miller. 6th, Reese Montgomery. 7th, Amber Mayhew. 8th, Blaine Saylor. 9th, Nick Kennedy. 10th, Blaze Ebertar. 11th, John Otson is the last car that will make the field. And that is it. So 12th, Kip Silverpoint. He came so close, but he will not advance. So from 12th, Kip Silverpoint all the way down to Weston Roper. You, unfortunately, will not make the field. Some big names like Kip, Sebastian Torres, Brian Fox, Katka Duskwatcher. You got A.J. Jones. A lot of good drivers that, unfortunately, will not make the field this year. Well, before we take you to the Snowball Derby, we will take you to Victory Lane for the first time ever in his SCRL career, with the number 93 of Roger James, the winner of the 2nd annual Snowflake 100.